Let me make this shit real simple. I own you, nigga.
What is up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. This is another Edward, what I call Edward Andersonisms that I wanted to put out. You all really liked the last one. The last one, we talked about one of the weaknesses of black men as a group, and that is working together. And I do think that's the biggest one. And if that's something that we can kind of learn to solve and deal with, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, God help us all. Because I think, again, people don't really underestimate how powerful it is. And it's not just all black men working together or something like that. I'm talking about even your ability to partner with one or two black men, because in this world of inflation and things are costing more, you have to be able to aggregate resources, aggregate information, and this is just how humans really came to dominate the earth as we did.
Knowledge.
We're not the fastest, we're not the strongest, and our ability to build and work with each other and build on top of that at the compound effect really is what has made the difference. And you really see that when you look at human history. People that don't have the ability to really work together, I mean, you see what you see. So check out that video. That link will be in the description below if you want to check that out. People really gave very favorable ratings on that. But what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about another, I think, big weakness of black men, and that is, quite frankly, being afraid of black women. And if you're listening to this, especially if you haven't listened to a lot of my lives, or you haven't been around for a while, welcome, first of all, much appreciated. You take the time to watch this video. But you may be thinking, I'm not afraid of no black woman. You know, I'm me. Yeah, of course you do. So let me explain. When I say black men are afraid of black women, first of all, before I jump into that, if you're new to this video, welcome. Like I said before, make sure you check in with a like, check out with a comment, hit that subscription. If you're already subscribed, hit that notification bell. And also let me know if you all want me to put a members channel, a membership, turn that on. I don't really see the value in turning it on when I already have a Patreon. And also make sure you check out the Patreon, where I do stuff that I can't necessarily do on YouTube, like do reactions, I do AI posts, I may discuss things that are a little bit too raw. I'm gonna do that, and yeah, so make sure you check that out. But what does being afraid of black women really mean? What does that mean? When I say that, what I'm talking about is black men have this thing where we have been socialized and trained, or more so socialized, to see if a black woman is angry, bad things are to come. And rather than standing on quote unquote business or standing on your square, when you know you are right, because as a man you are a leader, and whether you think you are or not, you will be blamed for nothing else. And because you will be blamed, you might as well have control, and you at least have control over in your own personal situation. Black men economically have, black women are easy money to get money out of. You just tell them what they want to hear, regardless of the actual tangible or verbal value you're giving. I call this the lie to me economy. So they've been economically socialized to really not care about what is right, what is correct, what is accurate, because that's what's going to affect people positively or negatively in the long term. They have been trained both economically as well as physically, as well as, socially and sexually, to keep black women as happy as they can. It's kind of like gravity. Black women are driven down because they're upset, because at the end of the day, most black women don't want to be black. That's another theme that if you're just now hearing this, you probably got the question mark, like, what is he talking about? Black women don't want to be black. That's where the colorism comes from. That's where all this attacking black men out of nowhere comes from. These narratives that they have, ultimately they want somebody to buy them out. They want somebody to save them from their own blackness. And because of this, black men occupy this posture where we're constantly doing what is called emotional labor. We are constantly laboring in order to make black women feel better about themselves, or at least make it so they're not pissed off at us. And that is a thankless task. That is a task that's never done. It's never done. It's never over. Because quite frankly, if you don't love yourself, there's quite frankly, or like yourself, if you don't like what's in your own skin, and look, I can empathize to a point as to racism and stuff like that, absolutely. But that doesn't give people the ability or the right to be bad people, to say some of the rhetoric that has been said. You know, when it comes to bullet bags, abort black male children, all of these things are attack on their own blackness projected onto black men. Once you understand that, what black women do makes a lot of sense. And that video, I'm gonna keep it real, that statement I just made, if you accept what I'm saying and you actually understand, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, that is worth almost like $200-300 right there. Because that level of, I hate to call it game, but that level of information will create a lot of clarity for you, especially if you're trying to figure out why are black women this way, what's going on. Everything, almost everything they do makes sense or comes into clarity once you understand that. Once you understand, this is not to say black men don't do anything wrong, but once you understand that a lot of what black women do outside of sexual needs and you know, primal desires is really them trying to opt out of blackness. There's way, it's like you're on a mountain somewhere, or you're on a life raft, and you see boats coming through, and you're just trying to get wave flags, whatever you need to do to get out of this boat and onto a boat. This is how they see it. Now, people can then turn around. There's this collective black male guilt that black men have, where they think black women are in a position that they're in because of something we didn't do or we did not do. We never lost a war. So that's not what that is. But black men empathize with black women so much so that it becomes like a mental illness, where you what you think about you is less than because they hate themselves. And let's just keep it real. Black women do not live the worst life on this planet, not even close. Black women probably live one of the best lives of melanated women on this planet. And quite frankly, these chicks don't live in the third world, and everything, pretty much everything they got because of you and the blood that you black men have shed. That's just a reality. Black women do not have anything because of what they've done as a group. If black men did not exist, there would be no need to give them anything. A lot of what they're given is a counter to us in order to say, hey, we're helping black people while by still maintaining the status quo. This is why black women don't figure this out until later on, once they don't have any sexual marketplace value to pretty much exchange, aka you're in your mid to late 40s or 50s. This is when you figure this out, that you played yourself. But that's another video for another day. But black men being afraid of black women is really driven by guilt. Also ego too, where there's this thing where if a black woman does not say it, it's not valid. And there's a lot of black men, whether you want to admit it or not, that you all are much less combative. When I say combative, a black woman can tell you some crazy stuff, and because you don't want to let go of the possibility of sex, even if you're not in the direct presence of that woman, you will go along with what she's saying, or at least try to meet her halfway. Versus if a dude says something you don't agree with, you completely don't agree with it. And I'm not saying you should operate any different. If a dude is speaking stupid, then yeah, don't go along with that. But black men have lost the plot as to, okay, I'm trying to get sex, which is why I'm going along with this stupid stuff, and to the point where that becomes like a standard mode that black men just have. Like some hypnotic state where if a chick say it, you try to emotionally agree with it. And it's to the point now where their understanding of right is wrong, they just expect you to agree. So when they tell you something, they expect you to agree. Even if they don't expect you to ever tell them they're wrong. Ever. This is why they get so hostile with it. And so the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I don't know, there is no such thing as permission-based leadership. Let me say that too. There is no such thing as permission-based leadership. This thing where black women are saying, well, if you do this, then I will follow. You just need to say, look, I'm not the dude for you. You need to go and find another dude, find another store, or you need to go ahead, and I tell them straight up, date outside. If you can't let a black man lead, I don't care what the reason is. If you can't do that, then go get you another race and do that with them. That way, because you're not going to occupy this space whereby you're in the, I don't want to let you lead. I don't want to listen to you because you feel some type of way. If you hear black men talking, all you hear is black talking, blackness talking, and you don't want to opt into that anyway, then you need to go ahead and go somewhere else. Whether it's have some mixed babies, be a single mom, or mixed, I don't know, I don't care. And the initial argument is always, when people say that they have no place to go, okay, so if you're telling someone to get out of your house, I mean, you want them gone. Where they go, or let's say you have a party. You have a party and it's time for people to leave. If they ain't got nowhere to go, that ain't your problem. It's this thing where I don't understand why there's a knee-jerk reaction to that nobody else wants them. That's not our problem. Because to black women, we are the problem. So if they just get away from us, they will be okay, right? This is where you're on Twitter, whatever social media you're on, where they talk about how white men are better. A lot of chicks that ain't even dealt with white men like that, or whatever, any race is better but black men. Black men tolerate that because y'all are afraid to really have a backbone. Y'all are really afraid to say, look, I'm who I am. I'm good with who I am. Yeah, I may need to self-improve, but so do you. You take all that, like, I could kill the gender war really quick. You take all that and you just take it to another race. I'm not saying necessary for you to date outside your race. That's up to you all if you all want to do it. I'm talking about as a black man. If you want to go as white men, then fine, whatever. But what I'm saying is there is no virtue in you enduring disrespect. If you can't, I don't care if I'm broke. If you can't respect me like a human being at a human level, where black women can't even respect black men at a human level, then it ain't nothing to talk about. So you got the purple pill that's pretty much trying to basically have a sideshow or zoo. I mean, that's essentially what they do. They're a zoo exhibit. They're a circus. They're not really saying nothing. They're pretty much taking the talk show host stick of Ricky Lake, Montel Williams, Oprah, and pretty much taking that on the road, tonight's conversation, thinking they're being cute. And anybody, quite frankly, that goes to those shows is goofy. It's goofy. Because you actually giving money, giving time, giving gas money for a show. That's goofy. In my opinion, I'm just saying. I dare somebody in the comment section tell me what you've learned from this show, or like you really went to this show for advice. I'm curious to know why you went. You really need to understand that black men don't have a backbone. And because black men don't have a backbone, black men occupy this argument has become circular. Because a lot of people will ask, where are we going? Why are we just having this conversation? Where is the end? Well, the end is very simple. Black men need to hit a critical mass of awareness and do a critical mass of things that basically forces an up and down vote on most black women. Meaning black women either want to stay or they want to go. If they want to go, then fine, go. Then we are unburdened. It's kind of like, look, you either going to pay this debt, you either going to do your part, or you just going to be written off like bad credit. It's your choice. It's your choice. I don't want to hear it, because at the end of the day, if you don't want to be here, then like, look at Will Smith is another perfect example. People can say what they want to about Will Smith, but ultimately Will Smith has the genetic currency, the social currency, or had it, has the economic currency. He has been, as loyal as somebody in his position is going to be to Jada. And Jada just occupies this space, but she's just constantly disrespecting him. That's because she doesn't want to be there. That's what that is. I don't want to hear any other, reason. She don't want to be there. And nobody never, and And I'm gonna tell you, you've seen a lot of this conversation go on social media, this back and forth. But I ask you this: when has you ever heard from anybody, no matter how much content you've listened to, have you ever heard a black man ask them, "Do you want to be here? Do you want to be black? Do you want to Do you want to be black? Do you want to be with a black man?" And I mean for real. And if you do want to be a black man, what are you willing to sacrifice to be with one? For real. Because all this kind of what dudes ain't doing, this aggregate of what black men are not doing, they're not doing their part, blah, 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 blah. All of that is cap. Like for real, all of that is cap. All of that is, I don't want to be black. I don't really want to be here. I see it all the time when you're dealing with somebody when it comes to the job. They don't want to. If they don't want to be here, they do all of the signs that they don't want to be here. Coming in late, and I mean for real. Dragging. And I mean this can be over time, over a long period of time. They don't want to be there, and you could do. And no matter what you do. No matter what you do, there is nothing you can do if they don't want to be there. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't really want to acknowledge. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with this? Do you agree black men are afraid of black women? If you don't disagree, why? I want to hear it. Do you what do you think black men need to do to exercise that? What do you think black men need to do? You think black men need to collectively tell black women to date out or find somebody else? Even when they do that, they tend to want to blame black men. I mean, they're just default positions blaming black men. So black men need to remove any ability for them to do that without. They need to be there, as folks say when where I'm at, where you about to fire somebody, you're gonna free their future. Because if they feel trapped, the door needs to be left wide open. Let me know what you think. If you got this far, definitely do appreciate it. Make sure, again, you check in with a like, check out with a comment. I respond to pretty much all the comments. Make sure you share this video if you think you got value out of it. And make sure you hit up that Patreon. Make sure you hit up that Cash App. Link is in the description. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.